I think it was a long vision that finally made realized by IIUM in the past recent few years. Actually, even before Communiversity existed, the essence or the spirit of Communiversity was already there. So much like many other universities in Malaysia, in many parts of the world, we already have that macam sense of urgency to interact with the public, to contribute to the community, and to basically to make academia benefit the society rather than being trapped in the world of academia. So the spirit has always been there, but it has just been made realized with such a nice tagline of Communiversity. If I'm not mistaken, very much inspired by I think East Asian university, if not Japanese, but also Turkish universities have that, and of course many Western universities also have that as well. But I think it's always been around. It's just made official of late, and when it is official, then actions really need to be happening lah.
We talk about the Communiversity. From what I know, it was the idea introduced by our rector lah, Tan Sri Zul, and it's kind of community engagement. Okay, but Prof Zul, Tan Sri Zul is more keen toward, maybe for him a much more well comprehensive term. Okay, instead of community engagement, it's much better to use the Communiversity. A bit difficult juga to pronounce, but yeah, that's the idea. So at least from what I view, from what I understand, when we have been briefed by the several officers, for example, the Dean as well, for example, Dr. Noor as well, since is also under his portfolio, community engagement. So for me, it's something that is ideally is good. That means to expose the student with the real life world, the real life experience, to know and to have what we can say the first-hand experience with the community. Instead that the student, and us actually as well, that means the lecturer, the staff who are involved with the project, instead of just reading the thing, hearing the story, seeing in the news, seeing in the documentary, so we are the one who go in the field, and to study about them, to know about them. And the more interesting is that, from what that I heard from those senior, for those staff who have experience joining this project, for them, it's kind of a new exposure for them as well. I mean, they get a kind of first-hand engagement, the first-hand experience on how to deal with the people actually, with the masses, with the common people. When they get their kind of their perception, what are their expectation from us, and most of them they agree on one thing, that somehow the community have kind of huge and high expectation from the people from the university. But the issue with that, to extent that the expectation can be fulfilled by us, or actually the work of some other people, but that's how the community perceive about the academician, about the university. So that my initial, at least, so quite new, at least from what I observe, from what the news stories shared by some other colleague. Ideally, it's very good actually. When we talk about the idea, about the on paper, about thing, on that part, it's good for the exposure. At least I know that we know some students also have some of the students give kind of also good and positive feedback as well. Without we deny any kind of weaknesses here and there, but there's also some kind of good review or good feedback from the students as well. That means they really know about the real life of the people. So, and it's good for the younger generation and the future leader. For those who are really experiencing this, hopefully that they can really make a better change in the future. When, who knows, some of you will become the PTD, for example, who will become the officer in next 10 years, 15 years. And hopefully from this experience, they can bring out with a more realistic and more applicable policies. Because today, sad to say, that's one of our issue. Many of the policies somehow is too ideal. Sometimes. Hopefully, that will be the change that will come out, inshallah.
I think it is a good idea. Because it will somehow make people to be aware and conscious about the people's needs. Although it might be difficult at first, I hope as time passes by, people will be familiar with this idea and will accept these ideas for a better living.
Currently, I am a master's student in IIM Gombak, and I'm also a part-time lecturer in IIM Academy. I'm teaching the subject known as Understanding Islam. I have read an article that is published in the University World News that is actually written by our current rector, Professor Zulkifli Razak. And I must say that the idea of Communiversity is a very beneficial and insightful idea for university to implement, because even the word itself is actually community and university, and the fact that our Islamic university, the philosophy of Islamic higher education itself actually relies upon making benefits and making the positive impacts towards the community around us. And I think that the essence of the Islamic higher education itself, other than to make benefits to the community, the bigger idea is that how the students are actually implementing their knowledge, implementing what they are currently majoring in their studies for the benefits, of course, to the community around IIUM, but then it's actually for the nations in Malaysia, inshallah. That's my first point. And my second point is that why Communiversity is a very beneficial idea that IIUM comes about is that because I think the concept it is very much closely related to the concept of ta'awun. Ta'awun is that Muslims are encouraged to do good and give benefits towards the other people. Okay, and this is actually Al-Quran constantly remind us on doing good towards others. So that's my opinion about the Communiversity in general, inshallah.
My name is Hirzia Rahmani, and I'm from Indonesia. I'm a student of History and Civilization. I think Communiversity is very good. So the students will learn how to apply it on the society. Like it can prepare us for the society.
My name is Osama Biosemi. You can call me Osama throughout this session. I am a History and Civilization student. For me, the Communiversity is actually a good concept, a good initiative, because as we all know that any university in Malaysia, of course, somehow they are too focusing to the academic. Of course, you went to the university to learn, but sometimes we have to remember also that all the knowledge, all the facility has been given to the student. But if the student cannot give anything, at least a bit of help or any contribution to the society, what's the question? And that's what I like about the Communiversity, because what our beloved director want to bring in IIM is to bring the student closer to the community in Greater Gombak. And to conclude my opinion, I like the Communiversity initiative because it's maybe in IIM is the first university that encourage the student to always go see the society, go interact with the community around the IIM.
My name is Balkis Nushrada. I'm currently a second semester student from and currently majoring in History and Civilization. According to my research, then I think I know a bit but about the Communiversity in IIUM. Actually, it's not like much info on Communiversity, and I didn't have like any justification on that. But I think that Communiversity is like in some cases like it refers to like specific educational institution. So like in IIUM, I think SALPAC is one of the educational institution that IIUM provide for the students. Like how they wanted to improve their language skills. Like Arabic, like the three main language in IIM is English, Bahasa Melayu, and also Arabic, right? And also some additional language like Chinese. Mandarin.
I entered IIUM in 2017. So during that time, actually I'm not quite sure is that during that time SDGs and United Nations has shaped the philosophy in IIUM, especially regarding the sustainability towards the project of Communiversity. But recently I always listen to some of my students mention that there are some of their assignments to do this Communiversity. But then previously during my degree time, I think and of course during my master's time, I engage, for example, like there is a poster competition, research poster competition for the master's degree level of the study, and that kind of competition actually highlights on how your research should be giving a positive impact towards the other. For example, like you are in social sciences, so how I am actually utilizing my knowledge in comparative religion in my research, and essentially that research should be being implemented towards the betterment of the society. Right, so that's my experience as a master's student. I think if out in the IIM also, I actively participated in a society called Persatuan Beli Islam National Convener, and I think our Dawabi society itself, constantly engaging in this kind of communiversity, because in fact that I am in the research unit, so I write and I give sharings to the universities about a lot of things, the current issues in our Malaysia. But the idea is that how the communiversity actually shape our university, IIUM, is very much important, and I personally had a very good experience in participating in communiversity project.
Again, the thing that I compare is, maybe during my time as a student, since this idea of community introduced by our rector, and I just come join this university only around 2 years. That means I not witness from the early establishment. That means the early reaction here and there. But at least can compare from my time, we can say that in terms of difference in terms of activities, they are not so much different in terms of the activities. I mean, before that, we also go for the community engagement. Community service. In those days, we are calling them the community service. But one of the good thing, that somehow the new idea, the new framework brought by our rector, is that instead of providing the service, we are engaging with them. So for our rector said there are two different aspects. That means service we just kind of one-off. Engagement is kind of continuous activities. And more on the problem solving things. Compared to just give kind of one-off punya activity, punya engagement. So that's one of the idea. Of course it seems good. But again, the idea is look good. Of course the implementation also quite challenging. Like I mentioned before, somehow the community have a high expectation from us. Some colleagues, for example, share with me. They say that they at first project, they taught us like the YB. They say that when he said that when his group go there, so they taught them as the YB. I mean, someone who give like kind of aid like kind of money or whatever, like goods, for example, right? They expect like that at first. So it means that our university also have kind of challenge to explain to the people that we are not come to them like that. We try to another have different approach. Maybe that we can see. And of course, when he had been formally endorsed by the university, compared to the before, maybe we can see in terms of planning, in terms of organization, in terms of budgeting, I believe that it's much better than our time. Much better, much well organized. And we also can see kind of much well promoted by the university. When they are put as one of their, what we can say, trademark, we can say, a signature for the university. So in terms of promotion, it's much better compared to our time. Much more organized. That may be what I can say in general. The difference between before and now they have with the community.
I think that most of the students, hopefully, they increase their sense of responsibility in themselves. As for me, I think that's the benefits of communiversity that I had. It increased my sense of responsibility towards other. It makes me to realize that our life in campus, our life in university is not all about us, but then it's all about us as well, but then about the others. And in some sense that it increased our sense of commitment, responsibility, and initially I think in a long-term runaway of this project, it will help and assist the students to actualize how IIUM is actually really stresses on the concept of Khalifah, concept of Rahmatul Lil Alamin. So this is actually a small step towards a bigger impact in the future.
Since I'm just only first year student, I cannot give the comparison what our university before the community initiative and after. But what I can do that is actually, even though the this initiative only has exist, actually it's hold up one of our university value, which is Rahmatul Lil Alamin. And my opinion, IIUM before Communiversity actually is the value of Rahmatul Lil Alamin is still there. And but after the Communiversity initiative, somehow there's a specification to what the initiative will be do. And I see it more to volunteerism. But yes, right now I just see Communiversity focusing more to volunteerism, and maybe it's one of the initiative what our beloved rector want to uphold. for the graduate of Rahmat yang alami.
Instructor, teacher, lecturer in this university, of course, I completely agree because I have been in the world of academia for a long time, and I recognize that there are some elements that are trapped inside the university. The whole concept of ivory tower or menara gading is real. So we really need to break that border and contribute and benefit the society and them benefit us. But I also understand the struggle of students because now you have even more burden. You even have more responsibilities beyond your academic, your student communities, now responsibilities to the communities. But this is something that we have to, how to say, macam share the burden or the responsibilities together. Sebab as the world grows, population grows, kita take so much from the world that we need to give back. So we cannot think like the olden times. If we are educated, high salary, we are detached from the society. So even though it's painful, even though it's challenging, we have to work together lah. Even lecturers cannot be like an olden style of thinking. Students cannot just be like, I want to finish my degree and then that's it. So there is that shift of mentality need to be there. Sebab at the end of the day, ini memang fardu kifayah. Kalau orang lain tak buat, kita kena buat, wajib. So that's my opinion lah.
For me, I am, quite agree with the idea of communiversity because, essentially that is the purpose of university. It is actually what university should serve. University should serve the community. But then, unfortunately that I have read some of the news that reported most of the research in university, they are actually stuck in university and they are not being implemented, to solve the problems in community. But I think why is actually the idea of communiversity is very impactful is that because this, can give awareness to the students that their role and responsibility towards the community, towards the ummah, is very much important. Okay. So for me is that I agree because this idea can shape, the worldview in the students' thinking so that they can establish their responsibility as the Khalifa. And for me, another reason is that during COVID-19, I believe that sisters also experienced, studying in COVID-19 and how it's actually COVID-19 give a lot of impacts in our life, especially on how we are engaging with the community, and we can see a rise in the mental health issues and how some of the students are actually becoming more individualistic. So this idea of communiversity, I think can curb, can curb the problem of individualistic among the students and help them to become, to practice, to be the leader in the future in our country, inshallah.
Yes, I agree, because I think for the purpose of having a sustainable environment, we should do our part in making sure that our environment is a conducive environment. We're not talking just about people's lives or safety, it's also the environment.
Personally, I agree with that because I think it's a very good thing because student will learn so much from this. Like they will get so much improvement if they influence themselves on the communiversity. But if the students doesn't like to joining the activity, join the organization, I don't think they will gain any benefits. They will gain some benefits, but no, I don't think they will get much.
There is a lot of room for improvement. Jadi the first and foremost would be to take students punya perspective because you are the backbone, you are the pillar of this communiversity, right? So your pain points, what you do right, what you do wrong, what you feel like could be improved need to be heard. So it cannot just be a project of university project or rectory project or lecturer project, right? It needs to be understood from the point of view of the students. So I feel like one of the major challenges would be financial situation. You want to do things, but who's going to fund those things? Nak go visit, nak go berbakti, then using what money? So some sort of financial punya strictness to need to be loosened so that we can motivate students to even feel more encouraged to be participating.
Again, just my, what we can say, observation, based on social media, whatsoever. The disclaimer, I'm not involved in any of the project. That's one thing that we need to understand. So one of the things that we can enhance, because somehow there's also some serious comment from the students as well regarding the implementation. I mean how the university implement the project, Some of the students felt like they have been forced to do that. Okay, so maybe one of the things that we need to further improve. Okay, either maybe to have a better explanation to the student why they need to do this, so that instead of they are being forced to do it, they really understood it. Okay, the purpose of it. That may be one of the thing. Second, maybe also in terms of the implementation. That means how to extend the project is really realistic to be done by the student. There's something that maybe the university can think of, okay, on how to further improve the situation. Okay. And of course, again, some of the early issues have been taken down. For example, my colleague also have explained in the earlier phase of this project. Okay, there are some issue in terms of security. Okay, of course, alhamdulillah, our university had taken and quick action on that, and they able to provide a more proper security, at least a more proper procedure, okay, for the student to go. Okay, for example, they say that in the early period, they just go to the villages. Of course, there are some issue on the security. Okay, but after that, the university had improved the SOP. Okay, then they only go to the villages or to go to the apartment, to the community through the what we call the Kutu Kampung or the JKK. Okay, that means they go accompanied by these people. Okay, so to ensure their security, to ensure their safety. That's also one of the good things which have been improved by our university. Okay. The rest, I think that's at least the two things lah, somehow that I can observe, okay, from what I saw in the social media, for example, some saying here and that. Okay. But again, after all, just to maybe you can say overall, ideally is a good thing, but maybe the university need to be more open to the criticism and to further improve the implementation of the project. Inshallah, it will be much better in the future.
First and foremost, I think the awareness must be increased somehow. All members of the IUM community. It might take time, but I think with consistency and persistency, we'll be able to convince people of the importance of this idea to have community in IIM. In the long run, the benefit. Because I can see that in terms of the issue of parking, right? It has been this ongoing problem for many years. I would say more than 10 years. Yeah. There has been a constant complaint here about the lack of parking and the difficulty of parking even for staff members. Yeah. So I think it's time now to find ways to reduce or to solve the problem.